Hey, welcome back. We are about to start part 2 of Merlin and the Dragons. Just a quick recap. Our main characters we had a character named King Arthur, who was a boy king who couldn't sleep. He met up with the wizard named Merlin, who told him a story. And this story is about a young boy who grew up without a father, who could make predictions about nature. And then he then made a dark prediction about the world that they lived in. And then that prediction came true with this gentleman named Vortigern, who started a battle, but then he lost and decided to build a tower at the top of a hill and took the people in the village below it slaves to build buildings, and these are the slaves he took. So we're going to start here. So the Welsh stonecutters began their work under the watchful eyes of the soldiers. For many days they mined the stone, cutting huge pieces from the side of Dinas Emrys. They swore they could hear the cries of the mountain at each cut. Next, they hauled the stones with ropes, their little Welsh ponies groaning with the effort. Finally came the day when they built the tower up the mountainside, stone upon stone, until it rose high above the valley. That night, Emrys went to bed and dreamed once again his strange dreams. He dreamed that the tower, the very one built by Vortigern, shook and swayed and tumbled to the ground. And he dreamed that beneath the tower slept two dragons, one red as Vortigern's banners and one white. That very night, the High King's tower began to shudder and shake, and with a mighty crash came tumbling down. In the morning, he saw what had happened. Vortigern was furious, convinced the villagers had done it on purpose. "Your work is worthless," he bellowed as the Welshman. "You will be whipped, and then you will get it all over again." So the Welshmen had to go back to their stonework. Great welts on their back, they hacked and hauled, and once again the tower rose above the valley. But the night they were finished, it was the same. The tower shook and tumbled to the ground. By morning, there was only a jumble of stones. Next page. This looks pretty important. A lot of old dudes with beards wearing robes around a big jumble of rocks. Let's see what happens. So Vortigern drove the villagers even harder, and by the following week the tower was once again rebuilt. But a third time in the night a great shudder went through the mountain, and the work once again lay in ruins. Vortigern's rage could not be contained. He called for his magicians. "There is some dark Welsh magic here. Find out the cause. My tower must stand." Now these magicians had neither knowledge nor skill, but in their fear of Vortigern, they put on a good show. They consulted the trees, both bark and root. They threw the magic sticks of prophecy. They laid with the sacred stones of fate. At last they reported their findings. "You must find a fatherless child," they said, "a child spawned by a demon. You must sprinkle his blood on the stones. Only then will the gods of this land let the stones stand." They smiled at one another and at Vortigern, smiles of those sure that what they ask cannot be done. Vortigern did not notice their smiles. "Go find me such a child." The magicians stopped smiling and looked nervous. "We do not know if any such child exists," they said. "We do not know if your tower can stand." Furious, Vortigern turned to his soldiers. "Gold to whomever brings me such a child," he said. So magic, it seems like you can believe in magicians, but really what can they do? Let's check this out. This looks like the child from the dream, at least from the beginning. These pictures have really been helping me. I like this. So, continuing on. Before the soldiers could move, a small voice cried out, "Please, sir, we of the village know such a boy." The speaker was a spindly lad named Gwilm. "Come here, child," said Vortigern. "Name him." Gwilm did not dare get too close to the High King. "His name is Emrys, sir. He was spawned by a demon. He can cry the sun from the sky." Vortigern turned to the captain of his guards. "Bring this demon son to me." At that very moment, Emrys was on the mountain with the old man, absorbed in a very strange dream. Under the ruins of the tower, he saw two huge stone eggs breathing in and out. Just as he emerged from his dream, he was set upon by Vortigern's soldiers. "What shall I do?" he cried. The old man put up a hand to his shoulder. "Trust your dreams." The soldier quickly bound Emrys and carried him to the High King, but Emrys refused to show any fear. "You are the boy without a father, the boy spawned by a devil?" Vortigern asked. "I am a boy without a father, true," Emrys said, "but I am no demon's son. You have been listening to the words of frightened children." The villagers and soldiers gasped at the impudence, but Vortigern said, "I will have your blood either way." Better that you have my dream," Emrys said. "Only my dream can guide you so that your tower will stand." Man, that explains how confident Emrys looks in this picture, and how that lady right in the middle looks super shocked, because this little guy just stood up to the king that came in and took over. That's pretty wild. Whoa. Those definitely look like the eggs from his dream, don't they? That's nuts. All right, so let's take a look. Last page for the day. Get this centered for you. The boy spoke with such conviction, Vortigern hesitated. "I have dreamed that beneath your tower lies a pool of water that must be drained. In the mud you will find two hollow stones. In each stone is a sleeping dragon. It is the breath of each sleeping dragon that shakes the earth and makes the tower fall. Kill the dragons and your tower will stand." Vortigern turned to his chief magician. "Can this be true?" The chief magician stroked his chin. "Dreams can come true." Vortigern hesitated no longer. "Untie the boy, but watch him," he said to his soldiers. "And you, Welshmen, do as the boy says. Dig beneath the rubble." So the Welshmen removed the stones and dug down until they came to a vast pool of water. Then the soldiers drained the pool, and just as Emrys had prophesied, at the pool's bottom lay two great stones. The stones seemed to be breathing in and out, and at each breath the mud around them trembled. "Stone cutters!" cried Vortigern. "Break open these stones!" Two men with mighty hammers descended into the pit and began to pound upon the stones. Huh, this is interesting. So, last time we asked for predictions, and I got some pretty good ones. This time I'm wondering what your predictions might be. So, please take a look at the discussion page that we have set up in Canvas. It'll be titled Merlin Predictions Part 2. I can't wait to give you some feedback on that. And once again, don't be afraid to give me feedback about how I'm reading. I tried practicing a little bit more this time, but my camera keeps going in and out of focus, you may have noticed, so it's very hard to look at it and read at the same time. So I might be looking for feedback on maybe a different version of how to do this. So thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Have fun reading.